All right. I didn't have anybody in the WebEx this morning, so I'm gonna take that as a good sign that everybody knows what's going on and doesn't really need much. But I'm gonna record this thing anyway, put it out there anyway, just so you guys have a point of reference in case you do have any questions for the final and just stumble across as you're trying to get into one. So the final is two parts. We have the actual final exam, which is going to be 50 questions that come straight out of your book. There is no time limit on this thing outside of the date and time that the quiz will close, which is Tuesday, the 30th of April this year, obviously, right? Right? In 3 days. 2 days? Something like that. And Thursday. So as long as you get your quiz done by then, if you start it now, it will not close on you. So it will close on you the moment it ticks down to Thursday at 11:59. So be aware, just get it in by then. Otherwise, it may not be counted. So long story short, take your time on this thing. Go through the book, find your answers, make sure that you have all your ducks in a row before you submit. That way, you can get the highest score possible. Obviously, it's meant to help. So anyway, that's pretty much all there is for that. 50% of your final grade, which is 40 points or 40% of your total grade, this is where that's going to come from. So long story short, this thing is worth 20 points on your total grade. So be aware, that's what that is. As far as the final lab, the only thing that you've got to do here is take the initial script that you wrote last week. So the thing that is going to display all of the system information that you were writing, get that done, and then push it to a Git repository. It's going good, just recording this video. So the script that you wrote last week, go through, I gave you the notes for how to do a Git add, Git commit, Git push, that whole thing. That whole process is what this final lab is. So all you got to do, take that script, stick it in a directory, mark it as a repository, and push it up. I don't mind whether or not you create the repository from the website and then just push your script to it. That's totally fine. Or you can also create a repository right there from Git. That part doesn't necessarily bother me one way or the other. I'm just making sure that you have the correct commands to push something to a repository. And then, of course, I want to go double check on that. So send me your URL as well. So there should be, it should be in the video last week what a URL looks like. I showed you guys what my Git repository looked like. So yeah, just send me that so that I can go double check that everything that that's supposed to be in that repository is in that repository, and I can just see your script from there. Makes things a whole lot easier. But that's it. Do your quiz, 50 questions, no time limit, and push your script to a Git repository. That will constitute 40% of your grade, each thing being 20 points each. So do not skip either of these. If you skip them both, it's a guaranteed fail. So don't do that. Make sure you take your quiz, make sure you take your time, and then push that thing to a repository. I'm not necessarily going to be grading the code itself on this final. I'm just grading whether or not you pushed it to a repository. So anyway, that's it. Get those two things done, and yeah, that's 40 points. 40 points. So do that, and you're good.